That's the first thing he said in that first meeting that stuck out to me was just like have a battle rhythm. And he preached that throughout that whole year.
If you want to be a high performer, if you want to be a 6-time staffing 100 person and balance a good work-life balance, you've got to be regimented. You've got to be really focused on it.
If someone's going to coach you or mentor you or work with you, you will hope that person has been through some type of adversity, because if they haven't and then you go through adversity, how are you going to ask them for help?
That's why I try so hard to make myself the obvious choice, because in the world we live in today, we are always battling racism and equity and all those different inclusion and diversity. We're always having this conversation, and I just want to show people through example that anything you put your mind to, you can accomplish.
You cannot let your attitude and your ego get in the way of patient care. You have to be able to speak up.
And with that, I know that I can't help others until I first help myself.
I love that about this country. You can literally do anything you want as long as you're willing to sacrifice the time to do it.
And he looks at me and he said, "Don't forget the comeback sauce." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Mary, you want to make a lasting impression. Don't forget the comeback sauce. You pour the comeback sauce on everybody you come in contact with, and you'll do just fine."
You have to dream. And when you have a dream or goal or something that you value, take that and put it in your pocket and don't let anyone take it from you.
We know that times are tough and we needed to give back to our communities somehow.
If you're going to take, a big job that requires you to travel, you really need to think about having the right structure and resources in place to help you with managing that all.
Battle rhythm is how you set up your day for success.
Bo and Luke Nation, we are here today in our final episode of season 1. Luke and I have a very special guest in studio with us today. It's our social media manager, Elle, who happens to be my daughter, and this is Bo. But she's done a fantastic job over this season with all of our social media posts, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, sound bites, clips, audio, you name it. She's done it all. So Ellen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Luke, Dad, Chief, for having me. It's nice to be back in the United States here in the studio.
We're so grateful, everyone, to have Elle as part of the show. I would say she is probably more important to the Bo and Luke show than even Luke is at this point. Like, she makes sure all of our content gets out there, that it looks good. If you're ever looking at some of our social media posts and you're like, wow, that looks really good, Bo and Luke are really talented, I assure you we're not. It's all Elle. It's all her.
It's all Elle.
So
I don't know what we would have done without her.
I agree. So this is one of the most important guests I think that we've had all year long so far. And not only that, she just got back from deployment, right? Deployment, am I saying the right thing? Was that redeployed? No,
not quite. But I was on an overseas assignment for my final duty station with the Army. I'm flattered, Luke. Thank you. It's been really excited to be part of your guys' new adventure, and I'm excited for season 2.
Me too.
Yeah, think about it, Luke. We have had 30 episodes in 27 weeks, a total of 23 different guests over those 30 episodes. Elle would make number 24. And because of her work and the great guests we've had nearly 4,000 downloads in our very first inaugural season of the Bo and Luke Show. I'm totally humbled that we have the listeners downloading so many times and checking us out, and and all the messages that we want to put out there, and it's resonating. I don't think we were anticipating this type of response so quickly.
No, I definitely wasn't. I can't believe. I mean, it's shocking to me. I'm deeply humbled by it too, that 4,000 different downloads have been made of people. It seems surreal that people are actually listening to what we're saying and getting a benefit from it, and then downloading it again, like a new episode. I don't know if it's
sure.
It's just it's crazy.
It
and
is
then
crazy.
Tell them about the different continents as well, and what country we're particularly beloved, I guess we should say.
Well, I just want to give a special shout out to Bangladesh.
Yes.
Wow, guys. Thank you. Thank you for listening. I hope you're following us on Instagram too, but that is so impressive to see that almost 20% of our listeners are from Bangladesh. So thank you guys.
Yeah, across Bangladesh plus others. So in one season, we've hit 5 continents with listeners. That's the title of global podcast.
That's right. Bo, you're going to need security if you ever go to Bangladesh. I think they're just going to rush you right off the plane, right? And say, Bo.
There is history of different rock bands not making it in the US, but then they explode in some other country.
Oh yeah. Hasselhoff in Germany.
I was just thinking about
Yes.
David Hasselhoff, right?
Yes.
Mr.
The Hoff.
The Hoff.
The Hoff. That's right. Oh gosh, I would aspire. So if only we could be that big in Bangladesh.
Hey, I'd take it.
Me too. I'm not even that popular in Virginia.
Yeah, no kidding. Not even in our own local hometown. Yeah, it's more incognito here.
Yeah.
So listen, go ahead.
Jump in. I was going to say, I got more. Sometimes I feel just being so grateful that we had all these amazing guests. I hope our listeners got a lot out of it, but I've grown as a person, personally and professionally a ton over this season. I'm very impressed at how much I got. I did not expect to get as much out of it as I did. I wanted to call that out,
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I think that I had no idea we would get the guests that we did. And it just all flowed and it all came to be. And there's some pretty remarkable, all of them, very remarkable individuals with some inspirational stories and their life lessons and what they've gone through from childhood to adulthood, right?
Yep.
And we saw a theme. So we've been putting it on social media, and it was actually Luke and I's last episode 29, where we focused on that theme, which was battle rhythm, right? Your daily routine. And we first heard that in an early episode with Jared Wilson. And his quote was, "Have a battle rhythm. It's going to keep you on track for everything. Goals, dreams, routine, responsibilities." He said he wouldn't let himself or others down, right? And that just kind of stuck. It wasn't intentional.
No, it wasn't.
We asked him the question, what did Jim Harbaugh, his coach at University of Michigan, teach him? Or what was the one thing he really learned and remembered? And it was his answer that sparked the theme for the whole season.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't think that was going to be his answer. I just wouldn't think that out of all the things you could have learned from Jim Harbaugh, that where he's that is what his answer was that got him now to the NFL, right?
Yeah. I was anticipating something along the lines of how to be the best in my position, or how to be a team captain, or whatever, right? Something more along those lines. And it was all about the routine.
I thought he was going to do something safe. I really did. When I asked him the question, I was like, you know what? I think he's going to say the importance of studying and getting your degree from Michigan.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I were in his position, I'd have probably copped out and done something like that and just said that type of response, but he didn't. And I think his response is super thoughtful. And you're right. It did set the tone for the entire season. It is just unbelievable to think every single one of these successful people that we interviewed has a battle rhythm.
Yeah, absolutely. Every
Crazy.
single one of them.
Yeah. There's not one that was
they had their rhythm.
That's right. Not one person came on and was like, yeah, I just kind of wake up, wing it, just be awesome all day. They don't.
Yeah.
They all have process systems.
That's right. I just have goals. If I achieve them, okay. If I don't, okay.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that was not the theme.
No, not at all. It is just fascinating to me that they all have that in common. Very different people all have one thing in common.
Yeah. And before we get too much further, we need to give a shout out to Mary B. Lucas.
Yeah.
She came on, and the reason I want to give her a shout out is Mary's episode actually had the most number of downloads out of all episodes in the season. She had the book Lunch, Meat, and Life Lessons. Elle ran a competition for it on Instagram, an Instagram competition challenge, if you will. And we had a winner. So that winner got a signed copy of Mary's book, which is fantastic. So thank you, Mary, again for participating, being on the show. it obviously resonated with a lot of people.
Yeah, it certainly did. And listeners, if you haven't checked out Mary's episode yet, I mean, check it. You'll know exactly why she got the most listens after you listen to it. She's just has an infectious personality, a zest for life. There's not enough great things you can say about Mary as a person.
No, she was a wonderful storyteller,
Yeah.
and probably the only episode I actually teared up listening to.
Really?
Yeah, I was checking out Mary's website, and she has a ton of history in speaking. So
She does.
has crafted that very well.
Do you think she's always been like that? Like, I feel like sometimes there's just those people on earth. And I've mentioned this to some people. Like, some people have a gift where they can walk in and just like fundamentally change the energy in a room or of a Zoom call as we do today.
Yeah.
But, you know, do you think she's always been that way? Just like, even when she was born, she just had that?
I think she had to be youngest of, before her sister Barbie came along, she was the youngest of what, 9?
Yeah.
7?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want is the baby in the family, I would imagine you have to have a vivacious personality.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I
And if
agree
you
with
listen
that.
to her stories and all the times, you know, around the butcher's block in the kitchen, talking with her dad, that, you know, she'd come into the room, they'd have the talk. Always
Yeah.
talking, which is fantastic. So I think you're right, Luke. I think that's very true.
Yeah, she's just one of those people. That was a good shout out.
Yeah. And, you know, then in episode 10, Marcus Ogden joined us, former NFL player, now a best-selling author, keynote speaker. And, you know, Marcus's quote was, "Failure needs to be our greatest teacher, not the rock bottom of life."
Yep.
Which is fantastic because he went through all of it. The super high ups and the super high downs. You know, so he's been on all spectrums of life, if you will. And what an amazing guest.
It's so true. It's so true. And there's also another consistency I want to get from this. I feel like people get too down on themselves, but another consistency is everybody kind of learns the hard way on our show, right? Like there's the easy way where you learn from other people's mistakes. I feel like the most successful people out there, and you look at like Marcus is a perfect example, right?
Yeah.
There's some lessons he learned the hard way and they made him a lot better in the guy that he is today.
Yeah, I think, no, absolutely right. And he said that in the show about, you know, like, because he does coaching and everything too. And if you think about coaching just in general, right? The best coaches are the ones who've been there, right? They've been there, done that. They've been through adversity. They know how to climb back up the hill and get back on top. And if you've never done that, it's difficult to inspire others to do the same.
That's right.
Yeah.
I always learn the hard way, unfortunately. Or fortunately, at least I learned.
Yeah. But see, this is the key with battle rhythm, right?
Yep.
And why you can't get too down on yourself, because Marcus also stated if you get off track, you have to acknowledge that you're off track and then just reset.
Yep.
Right. So if you think about what we were preaching last week with the daily routine. So if today goes bad, well, when you wake up tomorrow, reset.
That's right. Just reflect and reset.
Right. Don't get too down on yourself. Take the lessons learned and move forward.
That's right. That's right. Bo, we want to talk. I want to pivot over to episode 4 with you. That was the Bo episode where we talked about Bo and his book, right?
Yeah.
I loved that one. That was a good one. And everyone, if you haven't read Bo's book, you need to. It's fantastic. It's not like whatever you're thinking it is. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's more of like a how-to book more than anything else. It's something that you can actually read and apply that exact same day and get something from. So, Bo, one of the things you said is, find something you can do that's not difficult and make it a habit, right?
Yeah.
So talk about your 21 days to form a habit, because I love this.
Yeah. So 21 days to form a habit, that's just kind of like the general rule, right? So so if you do something for 21 days in a row, you should start forming a habit, and it just becomes part of your battle rhythm, your daily routine, right? So the first thing, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't start doing this until I actually read a book that was given. Well, actually, it was purchased by Elle.
No, it was given to me.
Given to you.
You gave it to me.
I thought it got shipped to the house, and I read it before I shipped it to you.
No, you gifted it to me. So
I
I don't know
gifted it
how
to
you
you.
ended up with it.
I ended up with this book.
Like a
I ended up
regift.
with this book by Admiral McRaven called "Make Your Bed." So he's a
Great
former
book.
Navy SEAL, commandant of the Navy, 4-star, and he gave it a famous, went viral on
Graduation
social media, graduation speech. I think University of Texas, I think it was.
That's right.
I apologize if I got that wrong, Admiral. But in that, he talks about making your bed and the importance of it. And it really just boils down to having your very first accomplishment of the day. So when you get out of bed, make your bed. And we talked a little bit about that last week and what that does for you and having a feeling of accomplishment, getting something done, and you're building a system, right? So if you get up and you do what you intended to do, it produces a sense of joy and good feeling and happiness, right? So make your bed is one of those things. It's a task that's not difficult at all. You just got to do it.
That's right.
So you got to get up and you got to make your bed, and you do that every single day. And the next thing you know, a month out, 3 weeks, 4 weeks out, you don't even think about it anymore, and you're just getting up and making your bed. And then you add, or you're thinking about what else can I do that's not difficult? Well, we say work out every day. Well, if you think about exercise in general, it could just be get up, start, go for a walk, make your bed,
Yep.
go for a walk, right? Or make your bed, drink a glass of water, go for a walk, right? So now you've done 3 things and you're an hour into your day.
Yep.
Right. So, and then writing, journaling, simple things. And if you're a person of faith, read the Bible, read whatever it is that you subscribe to, if you will, and just make those habits. Do it every day. That was the intent behind that, Luke.
I love it. I love it. What I get out of it too, because now I've really tried to do this a lot more, especially from after reading your book. It's become a lot more of a habit. And one thing it does is it sets a tone for the day where I'm playing offense all day.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing defense. What happens, like I can tell you, like from a couple of years ago, I'd wake up, I didn't have a battle rhythm at all or any kind of routine. I don't know, showered, shuffled around the house for a little bit. But what it would all come down to is I'd start checking my email and I'd start playing defense first thing in the morning. And I'd play defense and was just a slave to my inbox all day long.
All day long.
Yep. And I'd have stuff I want to accomplish and I wouldn't, because I would just be at the, responding to everybody else on their schedule. Now, when we do this and, we have the battle rhythm and make a habit, it's easy to just set aside time and, be on offense and set aside time for email, respond to it when you get to it. No one's going to die if you wait an hour. And if they do, we can text you.
That's right.
I do want to add though, because you read a lot of things about people telling you not to check your phone first thing in the morning, don't check your notifications. But if you think you or know at some point in building your battle rhythm that you have the self-discipline to set the timer, to say, you know what, I want to spend 15 minutes. I want to engage with my friends, with my family. But I would caveat that if social media is your business, then starting your morning with social media checks is probably not the best way to go about starting your battle rhythm.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And I think it's, it can also be like a little form. I don't want to say it's like meditation because it's not, but like some people I know, they get up, like I'm not on social media like that often all day long. So like when I get up, like if I'm just kind of shuffling around for like 5 minutes, I can kind of decompress and it just like lets my mind go somewhere else for a minute, just looking at whatever ridiculous updates are on social media or whoever I'm following. And then I just kind of put it away a little bit after that. I don't know. It's kind of like listening to a song or something like that. I know they tell you not to do it, but I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
Everyone will tell you not to do that. I'm breaking the rules, so whatever.
Everybody will.
That's right.
Yeah. And then we had Zara Northover.
Yeah.
What a great guest.
The experience.
Olympian. Zara the Experience Northover.
That's right.
Yeah. Jamaican Olympian on Usain Bolt's team. And Usain Bolt now has COVID-19.
Yes, I did read that on the news
So
today.
prayers for Usain Bolt.
Yes.
To recover.
Absolutely.
He
100%.
gave his daughter such a cool name.
Remind us.
Lightning Bolt, isn't it? Hold on. I don't want to butcher this.
That's
Look it up.
amazing.
Yeah. Super. You know, I've seen all kinds of videos.
Olympia Lightning Bolt.
Olympia Lightning Bolt.
That's
Will
amazing.
be.
That is a woman who is going to conquer the world one day.
Yeah,
That's like a superhero name.
Yes.
it is. You know, if he has does he have a son? He's got to go with Zeus. If he does
I
have-
don't know. I think he just has the daughter.
Zeus
Wow.
Lightning Bolt is a you know, an obvious next step.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Zara the Experienced Northover. That was fantastic. And you know, when I'm talking to people during the day and they've said that, you know, they listen to the podcast, one of the individuals in the episodes that people listen to, and they were literally enlightened, they never knew such a person existed, was Kathy Fyock, the book strategist.
Yeah.
They did not realize that people actually did book writing coaching, or your book coach, that such a person had that repertoire to bring to other writers and authors to help them get through their book writing.
That's right.
Yeah. So Kathy, if you're listening, great job. You've inspired people and you've actually brought visibility to what you do and the whole world of authorship.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Kathy, that was an awesome episode. Kathy just if anyone looks her up online, you can't look at her and not smile. It's impossible. I don't care how bad of a mood you're in. You look at Kathy Fyock, you're going to smile.
Yeah. Yeah. Great personality, great character. Love
Yep.
Kathy.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
That was a good one. Hey, I have a question about that. I read, this is totally off I'm going off script.
Okay.
Our listeners are probably gonna be like, "You have a script?" Like they're probably
Not
we
usually.
do. Yeah, we do, listeners. So, but anyway, so I heard Malcolm Gladwell talking about how he writes, and since you're like the only author, one of the only authors that I know, I wanted to ask you. He writes all of his books by starting like somewhere in the middle. He doesn't start any of them and start at the beginning to end. He's like, I can't write like that. Every single book that I write, I start somewhere like in the middle, somewhere right here, and I start writing on a topic, and then over 6 weeks or so, it just all comes together. Did you do any of that with your book? Or
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
I know I absolutely did. I don't think I did. I did. So I kind of drafted out what I thought the chapters would be about.
Yeah.
And then when I sat down, I picked a chapter that I wanted to write about, and I wrote about that chapter. Or I wrote that chapter.
And it worked for you.
And it worked very well for me. Yes. And then the introduction and the closing were written last. Kind of like, you know, when we're recording our episodes, we do the intro after we, you know, record the intro after we do the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with writing.
So I'm fascinated by that. I'm fascinated by it. Like, I feel like you can apply it to so many other things besides writing a book. Like if you're at work and you have to put together like a giant presentation or something like that. It's always like, hey, where do I start? You know?
Yeah. And you normally start at the front, you know, your agenda, what are you going to talk about? What are the objectives? And then you just kind of go in order.
Yeah. And it's hard.
And it's hard.
But
Maybe that's
but that's your book plan, right? You start with the objectives, right? So your table of contents, the introduction. This is what my objective is. I want to communicate this chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4.
Yeah, kind of came along like that. But the real start was writing a letter to yourself from the reader. That was the first thing I wrote. And that was a tip that Kathy gave me. So you're kind of answering all the reader's questions, which will help formulate, you know, the whole theme of your book.
That's such a good call.
Did you find it was more productive for you to write in the morning, in the afternoon? Did you make that part of your battle rhythm?
Mornings. I wrote in the mornings. That's what worked for me on the weekends. So not during the week when I would have to then follow that up with work, because I didn't want to be tied down. Like if I was in a good flow and I didn't want to have distraction from, I have a meeting at 9:00 or whatever. Right. So Saturdays were the big days for me. And I wrote a lot of it between the local library, sitting in the library around books. That really helped me stay focused and concentrate. But I also had time sitting in Starbucks, you know, with headphones in. So I think every writer's just got to find what works for them. Some go to a cabin on the lake, some go to a hotel, whatever.
That's cool. That's cool. But I love that. I'm glad to hear you did that as well. I love starting with the letter to yourself.
Letter to yourself.
Yeah.
From the reader.
From the reader. Yeah, not from you.
Prospective reader.
Nobody. Yeah. Don't write yourself a letter from yourself.
Yeah. It's not an I love me letter.
I love me letter.
Hey, affirmations are important. You know,
yeah, it's kind of like
this will be a bestseller. You can do this.
That's right. It's kind of, I was thinking, it's kind of like the book that Elle gave you, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of came back to you full circle, right?
Yeah. So she says.
I mean, I don't remember ordering it, but maybe I did.
I think you did.
It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So Luke. All right. I'm not drinking.
Whatever you want. You can drink.
So far off topic.
Yeah.
Off topic.
I've been drinking all day. So
today.
Yeah.
Listen, I think we need to sum this up in season 1 before we talk about season 2 with Zion Gooden. And I think listen, folks, to the Bo and Luke Nation, because this is it came from Zion. It's very heartfelt. Luke feels it. I feel it. Elle feels it. And we want all of you to feel it. If you take one thing away from our show, it's listen. There truly are no limits to what you can accomplish.
That's right.
So you got to get out of your way, get out of your own way, and you just have to get after it every day. Be better, know better, do better. Let's get after it. That is the mantra. Would you agree, kind sir?
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Yeah. You're speaking my language. That's exactly right. And I've seen just major changes in myself. I think in all of us since we've gone down this journey. Mm-hmm. And so I could not agree more. It's all about taking what you're learning and just putting it into action. Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Jason kind of summed everything up in episode 6. If you really work hard, if you focus on the right things, if you set your priorities right, everything else falls in line.
That's right. That's right. And that guy's fascinating. He is taking over the world, CEO of a company, and is home for dinner every night at 5 and sits down with his family and eats. That's big.
Yeah. That's priorities, right?
Yeah. I love that. Cause you say, take what you just said, Elle, and you put that into action in your life. He's getting stuff done in a 40-hour work week. And how terrible is it? If people think that they need to work 80, 90 hours a week to provide for their family, when, the time that we have isn't guaranteed by any means. Mm-hmm. And it's we're just looking for something we never get in the present, right? We're just looking for something in the future that we might never get. Could wake up one day and just realize that all that time has passed, and was it really worth it? Probably not, but follow Jason's steps. You can get the same money, have the same success, and the same time with your family.
That's right. And what he's done is he's built systems.
Yeah.
He's got systems in place according to his priorities, right? So he builds systems, they work. He executes those systems. So it's the how. So when you execute your systems, you go home at 5:00 for dinner. You can realize your priorities. They can come to fruition. And I summed that up, and I put this out and share this message on social media regularly. Everybody, you see a lot and you hear a lot. You want to be successful. You want to be successful. Well, in reality, you want to build systems. Systems build value, and then success follows.
That's right. That's right.
And that's what Jason has done here, and that's what he's saying. Work hard, focus on the right things, set priorities. Everything else falls in line.
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, fascinating. Good stuff.
So what's coming for season 2, guys?
Oh my gosh. So I thought you'd never ask. So already, listeners, so we have lined up Donald Trump, Lady Gaga, Shaquille O'Neal. I could go on, but that's just a little flavor of what's happening and coming up. Are we going to get sued for me saying that, by the way? Listeners, we definitely do not have them lined up. But if you want to join, we'd love to have you on.
Yeah. We would.
Shaquille O'Neal and I went to the same middle school. We had the same German language teacher. So, Shaq, if you're listening, we go back to Frau Karsten. I highly encourage you to come on the show.
Well, Elle, just shoot him a text.
I tried with a whole work thing, and it didn't work out. So, my people talked to his people, and unfortunately, we just couldn't come to an agreement.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
all right. That's all right.
But you know,
oh, go ahead.
we do have some big things coming up. So to the Bo and Luke Nation, this is ending season 1. Season 2 will kick off. Plan is like 1 October. We'll kick off season 2. But we will not be absent. We will have sound bites, social media going, ramping up, even better than before, and even more, not better. You did a great job, Elle. I didn't mean to say it that way.
I mean, we should all be working to be better in our skills.
That's right. Be better, know better, do better.
That's
So
right.
we will be better, we will know better, and we will do better for season 2. So we got a lot of content strategy going on. We are lining up some fantastic guests. Some TV personalities are going to join us. Some big hitters in real estate and so forth. So it's going to be a fantastic kickoff to season 2. And just stay tuned. I think it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be amazing. Elle, I think you should join more too. It's been a pleasure having you on.
I appreciate it. I like being behind the scenes. I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie. We'll see.
And now Elle's time zone lines up with ours, which is,
That's right.
a big thing.
It really does. It really does.
What time is it in Germany right now? What time would this normally be for you?
It's 6 hours ahead there, so 2 a.m.
Yeah, that wouldn't be feasible.
Hmm.
Well,
I
maybe
mean-
if the Berlin Brigade, maybe.
If there's an NFL
you
game
were-
on simultaneously with a recording,
If you were Tony Estes and in the Berlin Brigade, then yeah, it would probably work.
Yeah, I feel like you're just getting
Yes.
warmed up right now in the Berlin Brigade.
Yeah.
I don't think that brigade exists anymore. Just so you guys know.
Yeah, I don't think it does either. But we can't hang up. And we had so many guests. And if you're listening and we didn't mention your name, we apologize because everybody was just so fantastic. It's kind of like going on an award show because you win a Grammy and you thank 3 people, but there were 1,000 behind you, right?
Yep.
Well, there are many people behind our show, and every single one of our guests are one of those people. And everyone listening, you're all behind the show and the success of the show. One thing though with Tony Estes that really resonated with me was his gumption, basically to go for gold. Right? He had courage. He had the tenacity to reach out and go for broke. He
It's
saw
true.
Puff Daddy. Was it Puff Daddy and
Yeah,
was it
and
Puff Daddy?
Notorious and Puff.
And yeah, they're like right there talking to fans, and he could have easily done that and been the same. He could have been just
Yep.
like every other fan and went up to them, got their autograph, but that was not his vision. He wanted to be part of their interaction, to be in a video shoot. I didn't either.
You might need to start that
Darn
one.
it.
We'll edit that out or keep it in. It was pretty good.
Anyway, pause. So Tony goes to the director. He says, "The heck with Puff Daddy and Notorious.
Yeah,
I'm going to go talk to the director," and it turned into something. Great job. I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You just got to ask. You just got to take action.
Got to
Right.
ask and take action.
Yeah, the worst
That's right.
thing anybody can ever tell you is no. But if you don't ask, you don't know.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But by the way, I do want to give one personal shout out, which I haven't done a lot, but that's to my mom, Ann Carignan. Ann Carignan listens to our show religiously every single week. I talk to her every Tuesday. We talk about the episodes together. She gives me feedback, and she just blows my mind. She's an amazing woman. I'm not going to put an age on her because I'd hear about that next Tuesday when we talk as well. But let's just say she's past the age where somebody typically retires, and she's still a teacher. She teaches French and Spanish to like young kids. Like I'm talking 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, maybe even kindergarten, and not virtual, all in person, is in Illinois, going to school during the pandemic and just kicking butt. And just wanted to give a shout out to her because I know she'll love it and she's one of our biggest fans. So, and then we'll know for sure if she listens, right, for next week. Because
I love how you battle rhythmed your mom.
you like that?
You talk to mom on Tuesdays.
I do.
Like that's such a thing that a mom would probably love because she could rely every Tuesday. She knows her son is going to make the time to talk to her.
That's right. Oh, my mom's got a battle rhythm. We discussed that last Tuesday. She loved the battle rhythm.
Well, I want to give a shout out because in case you did not see on social media this weekend, Bo is now Grandpa Bo for the first time.
That's a big shout out, Grandpa Bo.
Yes, I am grandpa to Delilah May. So Delilah May was my other daughter, Clara's first baby, born August 23rd, 3:10 a.m., 6 pounds, 3 ounces, 19.5 inches long. And now she's home. Mom and daughter are home, and they are developing what? A battle rhythm. That's right.
A little baby battle rhythm.
A little baby battle rhythm. I think Delilah is setting the battle rhythm. And
responding.
Mom and dad just have to go with it. And if
right.
they don't, they're going to have a tough time.
That's right. But congratulations, man. We saw the pictures on social media. Beautiful little baby. How's it feel? How's it feel to?
Yeah, I think it feels great. It's a new addition to the family, and we'll raise her in the Bo and Luke Nation, and she'll be all set. All she has to do is listen to the podcast. She's got legacy built in right in the Bo and Luke show.
That's right. I bet she's already listening, like in the background.
Yeah, no nursery rhymes for her.
When you were in the hospital, were you like, oh, hang on, I got to put on the Bo and Luke show for her real quick?
Well, that's the unfortunate part, right? Because we're still dealing with the
That's right.
pandemic, and you can't have visitors in the hospital. So nobody was at the hospital with her except for Delilah's dad. And that's it.
Well,
wow.
She was also a month early.
Yeah.
So we were not even anticipating there being a baby because we were supposed to go down this week for an ultrasound checkup so dad could be part of that.
Sure.
And instead, on Saturday evening, we're getting a phone call that we're going to the hospital. Baby's coming.
So grateful, everything, that nice, healthy baby. That's all you can ask for,
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's it. Good health and well-being.
So good. What a season.
What a season. Great season.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Co-host. It's been a pleasure. Looking forward to bigger, better, more powerful content coming in season 2.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. Good job to you, Elle.
Thanks.
Keep it up. You're employee of the season. Let's make sure you do that again.
Yeah. Every month there's like a plaque in our office that says employee of the month, and it's Elle basically every single month.
Well, it's easy when you're the only one employed, right?
Well, I mean, we're not going to take that into account. You earned this.
That's right. Yeah. So, without further ado, Elle, you have anything else you want to add?
Well, obviously. Well, first I want to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of this adventure. You have given me plenty of work to keep me busy during COVID, during transition. For those of you who do not know, maybe you're just joining us or you've missed it in the past or forgotten. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook, all at The Bo and Luke Show. And if you are interested in providing us feedback, we love to hear from you. You can write us a review or send us an email at fanfeedback@theboandlukeshow.com. And we also have a new email list you can subscribe to on our website, theboandlukeshow.com, that Chief over here has so graciously built. You can buy Bo's book. You can submit a guest request. If you're interested in being part of season 2, we'd love to have you. Or if you know somebody in your community who's just doing better and impacting others around them, submit a nomination. We are all about having whoever is interested in being part of the Bo and Luke Nation. So we look forward to seeing you in a few weeks for season 2. That's a wrap.